Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is The Lollipop and this video is going to be a bit shorter than my normal videos, and that is because I will be covering only a single bike. I'm going to go over all the differences between the 2020 FX Sport 4 and the new 2021 FX4 disc, which has just been released for 2021. Thus, this video is actually meant to be an addition to the 2020 versus 2021 FX lineup video I made in the past, which I'll link in the video right now. But basically, that video covered all of the other 2021 FX bikes like the FX Sport Carbon 4, so check that out if you want to see the other new bikes. And like always, I will be making and completing a table at the end of this video so you can see all of the 2021 changes simplified in one place. But this FX4 disc actually did not have a model in 2020, as the 2020 FX Sport 4 is a bit different. However, since the Sport 4 is the closest bike to the new FX4, I will compare the two to help you figure out what the differences are, so let's get right into it. Starting with the price, the 2020 FX Sport 4 was $1,200, while the new FX4 is priced $300 less at $900. Now keep this price reduction in mind for the rest of the video, since the parts on the new bike are not always going to be an upgrade, as this FX4 is meant to be a less expensive version. The 2020 bike only came in one color, and that was matte metallic gunmetal, while the new bike comes in two colors, lithium gray and a Neaster black to radioactive red fade. The main differences between these bikes start at the frame. The 2020 bike used a 200 series Alpha aluminum frame, while the 2021 FX4 uses the Alpha Gold aluminum frame, though both of these are still pretty lightweight and have smoothed out welds. Both frames are also still DuoTrap S compatible, which is a device that can be bought separately to track your fitness progress on the bike and give you other important data about your rides. However, the frame geometry has been updated a bit. The FX Sport 4, as the name suggests, uses sportier geometry that allows you to go a bit faster, while the new FX4 disc is going to be a bit more comfort-oriented, though the specifications have not been changed too drastically. The next change is actually to the front fork of the bike, which is still the same FX Carbon fork, but it used a 100 by 12mm through axle in 2020 for that added stiffness, while the 2021 bike uses a 5mm quick release through skew, which is less stiff but easier to use if you want to remove your front wheel. The hubs are also different, with the 2020 bike using Formula Alloy center locking disc hubs for the front and rear, with that 100 by 12mm through axle in the front mentioned before, and a 135 by 5mm quick release axle in the back, while the 2021 bike uses Formula DC 20 and 22 hubs with 6 bolts for the brake rotors and a 5 by 100mm quick release axle in the front, which is less stiff, but the same 135 by 5mm quick release in the rear. The 2020 bike uses center lock compatible hubs, which allows for a higher end brake rotor system that is easier to remove, and in terms of performance, the 2020 hubs should be a bit smoother. The tires were Bontrager R1 60 TPI tires in 2020, which have been swapped out for the Bontrager H2 Comp 30 TPI tires in 2021, which are less flexible and less thorn resistant. A big change is to the drivetrain. The 2020 FX Sport 4 used a full Shimano Tiagra 2x10 drivetrain, which had an 11-34 tooth Tiagra cassette and a Tiagra crankset which had 48 teeth on the larger chainring and 34 teeth on the smaller chainring. The 2021 bike actually uses a mainly Shimano Dior M5100 1x11 drivetrain, which has a Dior 10-51 tooth cassette and a Pro Wheel crankset which has 42 teeth. Thus, these bikes will feel pretty different considering the varying amount of speeds and gear ratios they have. The 2021 FX4's drivetrain will be simpler as there is only one chainring in the front, but if you do appreciate having more speeds, the Tiagra in the 2020 model will be a bit nicer and will allow you to sustain higher speeds. However, the wider gear range in the 2021 Dior group set will help the FX4 disc get through some tougher climbs. And the final change we have is to the pedals. The 2020 bike used Wellgo pedals, while the 2021 bike uses the Bontrager Satellite City pedals. The new pedals are just wider and thus have more space to place your foot on the bike for some more stability. All these changes definitely have an impact to the weight of the bikes, as the 2020 bike weighed 10.48 kilograms or 23.11 pounds in a size large, while the 2021 bike gets a bit heavier at 11.52 kilograms or 25.4 pounds in a size medium. So in actuality, if the 2020 bike was weighed in a size medium as well, it would weigh even less, and thus the overall weight difference is around 2 to 2.5 pounds. But those are all the current changes from 2020 to 2021 for the new Trek FX4 disc. I'm going to show you that completed table now, but overall I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, please leave a like and subscribe, and if I missed anything in the video or made a mistake, please leave a comment and I'll fix it as soon as possible. But if you do have any questions or suggestions besides that, feel free to ask, and thank you all for watching, and keep biking.